So it's all about you. Every single person is different, right? There is no set way of doing eBay. Your business is different than mine, and so forth and so on. So you've got to focus internally on who? Yourself. Hey everybody, it's Mike, the Golden State Picker, back inside my shed with a video with my friend Jerry Garcia and his Grateful Dead bus cookie jar. Today, we're going to ask the question, can you still do it on eBay? Is eBay still relevant? I have 8 things that I have put together for you today, and all 8 of these things have come from my 30 years of experience as a retail business owner and 4 years of full-time reselling on eBay and Amazon. I put them together hopefully to motivate you, hopefully to give you some inspiration, something to build on in your reselling business, if it's part-time, full-time, or if you're sitting on the fence, because hey, today's times, it's always tough. We've heard this over and over as you've garnered throughout your life. Things get tough, but today is really relevant. Things are tough out there. Everything is expensive, and we need to know, can we make some extra money, or can we grow our business still on eBay? That's a big question. I get that asked of me by a lot of young people. A lot of young people are wondering, hey, how do you make it work on eBay and so forth? And I'm just going to touch on that a little bit and explain that eBay to me is still extremely relevant. It is still the player in the space that we are in. Items like, VCRs, just glass, whatever you're selling, something like Jerry Garcia, something like cookie jars, eBay is still the relevant platform. eBay is not the behemoth it once was, because Amazon has stepped in a way. Amazon is about 44% of the shared views. That's almost half. eBay is second, way down at the bottom at 10% shared views. But that 10% shared views, because we can now sell internationally, globally, is basically millions and millions of views a day. So if you're not on eBay, you're really kind of losing those potential sales. I mean, it's massive, right? The next players are way down the list in Poshmark, whatnot, Mercari. This is where it seems, people are always trying to come up with some different platform. Well, you're going up against the big Amazon. Amazon is Amazon. eBay is the next big player. So how much can these other platforms garner, the Poshmarks, the whatnots? Yeah, they're niche markets, but eBay is still the most relevant for reselling. Basically, what I'm getting at here is eBay is not dead, okay? Because the people who are telling you that eBay is dead are basically naysayers, or they failed at doing it. You get out what you put into something. So whatever you put into eBay, hopefully you're gonna get it out in returns. If you put in garbage, you're gonna get out garbage. So it's all about you. Every single person is different, right? There is no set way of doing eBay. Your business is different than mine, and so forth and so on. So you've got to focus internally on who? Yourself. If you focus on yourself, block out all of the naysayers that are out there, right? Believe me, there's a lot of negative things that people talk about eBay, the high fees, the scams. Well, it's everywhere, guys. Believe me, I am on Amazon FBA. You think you got problems on eBay? The one great thing about Amazon FBA is if it's a return, you just don't have to deal with it. It's not in your headspace, because Amazon's going to just do it, okay? So yes, you have these emotional effects with eBay, the ups and the downs, the returns, because now you're on that emotional level, one-on-one, where you see the return, you have to deal with it, you have to take it back. So yeah, we feel that. We keep thinking that their fees are high. High compared to what? Try Amazon FBA. Amazon FBA, you're 50-60% gone. It's a very heavy laden with, you've got to put a lot of stuff into Amazon. You got to churn a lot of inventory to make money on Amazon. Whereas eBay, you can sell 1 or 2 items a day, and it can add up over time, right? So basically, eBay is still the player in the field that I'm in, but I've also taken a little piece of Amazon and sprinkled that. Now, it basically started with eBay, moved into Amazon for me, and now has grown into over $1 million in gross sales in 4 years on both platforms, right? So basically, guys, you have to make it your own. Do not look at other people and say, wow, I'm not, they're doing so well and I'm over here, and it's completely different. Don't look at me and say, wow, look at Mike does, or go look at Kevin or Cincinnati Picker or Harry Tornado. Any of those people, use what they're giving you to help build your business. Their business is specific to them, yours is to you, and mine is to me. Continue to build yourself a business within your framework. And I'm going to give you 8 things I think that are important for you in a minute. And number 8 is my favorite. So I know it's at the end, but it's something that's so simple, but it's kind of fun. So number 8 is going to be at the end. I think it's important for all of us to have a plan for our future, basically. A plan that we can use to start a reselling business or grow an existing reselling business. It might not become a huge part. Your business might not become super huge. It might not become a multi-million-dollar business, but it could become a business that gets you out of debt, that builds you a retirement, all of that kind of stuff, that helps you pay down things, helps you with your grandkids, all kinds of things, right? But it can help us be more in control of our money, is what I'm getting at. And rely less on others. That is a key factor. I love that I'm so independent and so reliant only on myself, and that I don't have to turn to other people so much for help. Yeah, we have family, we have friends, and we have stuff like that. But basically, my business, my financial stability is all because of what I do, right? This way we can become more financially independent and have more say in our own lives. So if you're successful doing eBay, doing Amazon, all that kind of stuff, we have more say in our own lives. Basically, the way I look at it is this: the government is out of my life. They're there, okay? Don't get me wrong. I have to pay taxes, property taxes, all that stuff, but I don't want them to control me as I get older and so forth. I want to be financially independent and be able to do what I want and not be kind of constrained to a Social Security income or something like that. I really want to be able to grow myself and have a great, great retirement. That's what my business is all about. What's your business about? Let me know in the comments down below. Is it retirement, paying debt, helping the family, a full-time living? I love to get comments so that I can understand where everybody's coming from, so that I can build my channel so that it can help you and your families, guys. So it's important that you kind of interact with me, because I will be reading every single comment, all right? Now, basically, there's motivation. Let's talk about motivation. There's a big cause of any person's motivation levels, right? And especially if they're dropping. It's like if you're first starting out, you're running 100 miles an hour right out the gate, right? Everybody seems to be just boom, 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 running really hard, going fast. I'm excited. And before they know it, so much is happening around them. They become overwhelmed. It's fantastic to be ambitious. It really is. That's why a person starts a business in the first place. But a little bit of structure goes a long way. That means we have to be smart about how we're doing our business, how we start our business, and how we grow our business, all right? Being smart about your long-term vision is important, and these 8 things I do can help you in that reselling journey. Now, why do I use the word vision? If you've been around long enough, you guys know that one of my favorite books is Atomic Habits by James Clear. That book turned a switch on for me. It got me away from the word goal. Nothing wrong with the word goal. I just replace it with the word vision. So you'll hear that throughout this video. Goal, vision being replaced. A vision is what I really want. Let me give you an example. The word goal, and I'll use it in weight loss. How many times have you said, I want to lose 25 pounds? And you set a goal to lose 25 pounds. Pretty soon, you hit 25 pounds. And basically you said, I lost 25 pounds, I'm going to stop. You start eating again, and you put more weight on, or you put the 25 pounds back on. What you need is a long-term plan or a vision to keep it off, become healthier, all that kind of stuff. So that's the difference between vision. It's constantly going, whereas a goal, sometimes you attain it and you stop. We don't want to do that. We want to set parameters where we grow our business with a vision, okay? Now, number one, right off the bat, is we want to be specific. Understand exactly what you're trying to do. Be specific with your long-term vision. Your vision must be clear and well-defined. Vague or generalized visions are unhelpful because they don't provide sufficient direction, okay? Remember, you need a strong vision to show you your way. Make it as easy as you can to get where you want to by defining precisely where you want to end up being. When I started my reselling journey, I was kind of in between two areas. I still wanted to work, and I didn't want to work. There's just kind of this gray area. Once you get to my age, I'm 61, but once you get into this area, there's these like gap years. It seems like you want to get to retirement, but you're not quite there. So how do you fill them in? That was my dilemma. Along came reselling. And then I started out as an Uber driver, and then from there I was thrifting, and from there it started to grow. I started to thrift more. I started to do things that opened my eyes. And then pretty soon I thought to myself, you know what? Let's think about this. We can use this to help us in my retirement. And that's it. So I first started to set these visions out for, hey, I want to get to age 65. I know you're hearing me say 65. Aren't you limiting yourself? No. My first vision is I want to get out to age 65 and still be doing this and really growing my business. So that was my first basically specific thing that I was trying to do. It may be different for you. Maybe you want to pay off debt. Maybe a vacation, okay? Maybe to start slow and maybe potentially become full-time. So there's a lot of different ways, but you need to define it. Don't be so scattered. Say, this is where I'm going to go, and let it take you where you're going to go. You know, there's the old saying that you see, well, not an old saying, but you see a path, right? And this path sometimes veers over here, comes back, and it just jogs around, right? And sometimes you're like wandering in the wilderness, you know, like, just wandering around. And eventually, if you've got enough vision and enough, stuff going on, you're going to find your way through there and hopefully grow it. So keep that in mind. You know, another thing is basically, I always want financial independence. It comes back to I'm in control of my destiny, not somebody else. You know, if you've worked for people, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, it's saying that you're working to get them rich. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's great to have a job. There's benefits and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's a lot different when you're on your own, okay? All right, next. The word measurable. It's number 2, measurable. Do things that lead to tangible results. This is something I do every day, basically. I want to get tangible results. That means I want to get things done that I feel like I can measure. Okay, I got 8 things listed. I went sourcing today, okay? And I shipped today. Those are kind of measurable kind of things. We need to set up a routine, a process. That's another thing you hear me talk a lot about. Process and routine, you can flip them around. I have a process that I go through each and every day. When I wake up in the morning, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I do something. Tuesday and Thursday, I do something. So there's a pattern or a process that I do. But I can measure throughout the day certain things. And those certain things to me are sourcing. Did I do it? I might not find anything, but did I do it? Listing. Did I list items? I try to list every day. Shipping, I want to ship every day also. If I've got orders in the size of my business, I do. I always seem to have something. So these are the measurable things that we need to do to consistently make our reselling better. Without these, if you don't go sourcing, you don't get items. If you don't list, you don't get sales. So therefore you can't ship. So you can see what I'm talking about. Measurable things, okay? Now, next is the word achievable. Make your vision achievable. It's excellent to be ambitious, but know your abilities. Set a vision that while ambitious is still achievable. Putting unrealistic targets can lead to disappointment. You need steps along the way. You will plateau and build a new floor every day, every week, every month. You know, they don't build skyscrapers from the top floor down. They build them from the bottom floor up. It's cliche, right? But it's no different in business. If you come out with this grandiose idea and you can't get to it quickly, you lose motivation, you lose some other things that can happen to you in your reselling journey, right? You get down, you get depressed. So when you're first starting out, especially, you've got to walk before you, you got to walk before you run, crawl before you walk, all that kind of stuff. But you've got to basically learn how to set a foundation. Then you've got to build another floor and another floor. All of these things are so simple in my head, but for some people it's very difficult. So you need to just build upon each level and let yourself grow. Don't shoot for this huge target sometimes, this huge vision, and then you fail. Basically, I tell you, you need wins. You need to be able to win here and there so that your motivation, your mind gets addicted to reselling. You find an item for $5 and you sell it for $100, especially if you're new in reselling, and you go, wow, I turned 5 into 100. That's a win. And then from there, the next win, and you just keep building up wins, and pretty soon you're achieving so much. Then you can start to set different little visions or areas, but try to start out small. Don't get too carried away and allow yourself to grow into it. So it's important that we don't tamp it down, but we basically just, here's something I like to say. Stop trying to make things happen and let things happen. Okay, that's what I like to tell people. I like to say, hey, if you press too much, bad things happen. I just like to let things happen. If you've got the wherewithal, if you've got the knowledge, things will happen. If you have a ability to source great spots, great areas, eventually it's going to happen. You may go 1 or 2 days and not get anything, then all of a sudden, boom, it opens up for you. So basically, don't force things, just let things happen in a natural, simple way. Once we start forcing things, it just starts to kind of fall apart. It's just like the dominoes. You just start to collapse because you're pushing too hard. So just let it grow. Next is being realistic. Setting a target with your current capacity of money, basically, and resources, basically the amount of space you have and the money you have to spend. So if you only have $500 to start and a small bedroom for storage and shipping, then set your target for that. Growth will come, and it's a good problem to have. Basically, we're getting back to talking about being realistic with what you're going to start out with. I'm going to tell you how I started, basically. I started with zero, guys. Zero. Well, I had a few bucks, basically, but I was just an Uber driver hitting some thrift stores and realizing that there were some things out there, and I'd pick that item up, sell it, put it online. When I first started on eBay, I had 212 feedback. I have almost 4,000 now. And I started out slow. I was making mistakes left and right, but I was flipping some pretty good items, and I took that money and I flipped it back into more money. So I had this realistic goal that, hey, I wasn't going to just jump to the front of the line. It was going to take me some time. And if you keep reinvesting, you hear it's no different than money compounding. It's basically the same thing. You're compounding your money. You take a win, take that money, buy some more stuff, get more wins, and pretty soon it's just this monster. But you got to be realistic in those goals, especially at first. You know, I mean, it's really strange, guys. I wish you could see my journey. I wish I could play it for you in like one time lapse really quick. That how I started with that $0 or very little, and I have grown to over $1 million in gross sales. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. All right, number 5. It's basically time. Being time-based. Time is money is often the repeated cliche we hear. It is true. Everybody in this world is allowed 24 hours in a day. That's it. Steve Jobs was, Elon Musk. That is the equalizer, is time. We are all given the same amount. Doesn't change for Elon and you. So we've got to use our time wisely. Set yourself deadlines. If you have an important task, knowing that you only have so much time acts as a great motivator. Tell yourself 1 hour in a store. If nothing happens, move on. Line up your daily process when you are going to photograph, list, and ship items. This is the time that you're going to set aside. You have to basically take your day and break it into segments. Now, I am notorious for when I go into Savers. I will go into Savers, and if Savers is hot, I'll stick around a little while. And I just get this feeling that it's hot. Now, if it's dead, I'm not going to spend much time there. I'm only going to allow maybe an hour. Then I'm going to move on to give myself a better chance. So I'm allotting my time. I'm not sitting in some place that I feel is going to be a waste of my time any further and move on to the next thing. So I allot myself time for listing, shipping, so forth, so on. I break those down. Sometimes I'll only say I'm only going to do 1 hour of listing. That's it. I'm done. Then I'm going to move on to the next project. So it is about time. No more excuses about time. I hear that over and over. I never have enough time. Many of us are super busy. Many of us have kids, families. It's just chaotic. I know what it's like to be a dad and a family, having a family. Right now I got a full house. I got 5 people in my house. That's a lot for me, guys. Every bedroom in my house is taken. I got my Joshua's friend over. My papa came down from the Reno area and such. So I got a full house. So it's chaotic. I have to learn to work around all of that. But here's something that might sting a little bit. Maybe we're spending too much time on social media. Maybe we're watching too many TV shows that mean nothing. All that kind of stuff. You can find time. If you can find time to go to Starbucks, or you can find time to do watch the Kardashians, I'm going off the rails here with them. You know what I mean? If you can find time for that, then maybe you need to cut that out or drop that down. You'll be amazed at how your mind will clear up. I will tell you, I used to watch the news shows occasionally. I mean, I always like to watch Fox, guys. Okay, so don't go off on me here. But I stopped watching them. I stopped watching them all, because they're all the same repetitive thing over and over. It was driving me crazy, absolutely nuts. So I realized a long time ago that this is not good, okay? There's better places for my time, and that is on my reselling, and that's where I focus on. So you need to learn, if you're new or if you've got a family and stuff, where to delegate your time, where to choose how to make this work. Remember, if you're still young, all that kind of, we're all still young, but if you're still young in the business, just keep allotting that time. And pretty soon you might really be surprised how much your business grows once you take back that time that you've been wasting on social media, on other things, guys. So it can be done, okay? The next one is really, really important. I think this is probably the most important thing that I have done in my reselling, because when I first started, I didn't know anybody. I would walk through stores and my eyes would look around to see if I kept seeing the same people, and I did. I saw a lot of the same people. But me, I have this personality that, I'm going to say hello to you, or I'm going to pick your brain, that kind of thing. It's called networking, guys. Networking, we need a business card with our name, our phone number, our email. Don't be afraid to give out your cell phone number. You know who to give it to and who not to give it to, because these people are going to contact you maybe, and they're going to give you a big lick, a source, something like that. One of the things that makes me the most energized about my business is the connections I make while networking. I have made so many new friends reselling. I can tell you guys really honestly, I have a big network of friends, but especially in the golf world and the business world, the 30 years of retail and the furniture industry, I've lost all those friends. All those friends have gone the wayside. When I was in business, that was my group of networking and friends. Then you leave, and now you got to build a whole new network of friends, and that's where I'm at now in reselling. And I can tell you, I have met some of the most interesting, fun people through my reselling. I text these people every day. They're texting me. They're showing me their wins. I'm showing them my wins. And we're building this relationship, and they're helping me find stuff. I can't tell you how much money that just my networking with other pickers has made me. It's unbelievable how much that has happened, guys. Networking effectively is about give and take also, okay? Which means you only get as good as you give. Be generous with your thoughts, ideas, and connections, and others will reciprocate. Basically, you help them, they help you. But if you're not helping them, they're not going to help you. So you have some knowledge in an area, share it. They have a knowledge, they'll share it. And it's amazing how that works, okay? And it's just everything in life. You give, you will get. If you take and take and take, then that's not good. So give of yourself, give of your knowledge, and in return, they will give you their knowledge, right? That's what this channel's about. People say, hey, Mike, why do you give away your secrets, all the time? I'm not giving out any secrets, guys. Reselling's been around since forever. Whoops, there goes Jerry. Reselling's been around forever. My secrets are nothing. I mean, I learned by watching other YouTubers, okay, but I learned about items. I didn't learn about any magic secret like you go knock on the back door at Goodwill and they hand you items. That might happen some places, but you know what I mean. It's basically I'm building a knowledge, and that's what's happening here on this channel. People are hopefully learning, taking something from what I found, why I'm thinking about certain things, and building their business upon that. That's not a secret, guys. I mean, YouTube is filled with people, motivational stuff, all kinds of stuff. So basically, it's again what you take, what you learn from me, what you learn from Harry Tornado, Commonwealth Picker, Cincinnati Picker. You take a little bit from here and there and build your life around that, right? All right, this one's a stinger maybe. This one might sting a little bit. A lot of you are here because, hey, maybe it's financial. Financial discipline is the next segment. Maybe financially it's just tight because, hey, inflation's been nuts. It's expensive now. Try living in my area here in the Silicon Valley. It is crazy. The house across the street from me has rented for $5,000 a month. Think about that, guys. $60,000 a year of your money goes to nowhere, basically to living. So it's very expensive to do that here. So we need to have some sort of financial discipline. We need to get our financial house in order. So some of you are doing reselling to try and do that, to basically cut down your debt, right? Your student loan, your credit cards, your cars. I can tell you that if you can gain control of your financial stuff, by the time you're in your semi-retirement or retirement years, life is going to be easier. It's going to take a lot of discipline. That's the key word. Do you have the discipline to keep money back for taxes? Do you have the discipline to pay down your debt and not increase your debt? Do you have all of this? That is the most important thing. Avoid incurring new debt. A lack of financial discipline is often evidenced by regular unplanned spending. It sucks, guys. You look around and your buddy's out there, got a new car, your buddy's going out to dinner all the time, going on vacation all the time, and you feel like, hey, what am I missing? Well, maybe you're not missing anything. They've got maybe a bunch of debt over here. So you just, you know what I mean? Look at that. It's all shiny. Build your own financial system, your own financial way of getting out of debt, of getting to your retirement years. And we'll talk about that in a second, but getting to your retirement years to where you are financially independent and you can do what you want to do, right? Another key thing here. You have to be very patient in this. If you have debt, student loan, etc., not going to happen over time. So we have to put this as part of our vision. Our vision is we're going to try and get rid of all of our debt, and we're going to work on certain things. There's a lot of people out there who are far better at that, explaining that to you than me. I'm just going to gloss over it, but that's what I'm talking about. Go to other channels and find a way to, hey, how can I get a budget? How can I financially become more independent so I do not fall under the basically the powers of others? They control me. The banks, the government. We don't want that. And when I talk about the government, I'm not a government conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying, hey, the less government is in my life, the better. They're always going to be there, but we don't want to have tax issues, anything like that, where they're snooping in your bank account, doing things like that. We need to take control of our finances, okay? Big one. That's a huge one. All right, we are finally at the last one, number 8, which is I think it's the fun one, the best one. And basically it's this, guys. If you do everything right and you got your vision and everything's going cool, set yourself rewards. There you go. You set yourself up for rewards. You should recognize and reward small victories along the way to your long-term, broader vision. When you get big wins, go out, have a dinner, celebrate. Take the family, say, hey guys, we're doing good. We made a couple of really nice sales this week, and we're going to go out and celebrate. Celebrate. You need to give yourself some reinforcement, some joy, that kind of thing. If you're in it longer term, like some of you are, we celebrate with vacations, right? Maybe small vacations. You take 2 or 3 days off. That's easy to do doing eBay. You put on time away, go away for 3 days, enjoy yourself, that kind of thing. Something that shows you that you have succeeded. That's important. That's the feeling we need to get. Wow, I went to here, and it was all because of reselling. I succeeded, right? So that the feeling then is added to your memory bank, and it feeds you more motivation, right? Then the amazing thing is these rewards will become more frequent and bigger and more amazing. If you do everything right in your reselling and in your business, over time, this doesn't happen. Again, this is what I mean. You have to start out over time as you get to my age, because that's my goal. See, there you go. See how the word goal is entrenched in me? It's my vision. That word has always been entrenched in us. It's my vision of how I want my retirement to be. I want to be able to say, I'm going to go to Hawaii. I'm going to go to Disney World. Those are 2 trips I'm taking this year. That is me. That is, I'm able to help my family, my wife, and be able to grow, and then I get rewarded. And the reward is this: reselling and the ability to do what I want, when I want, all of that kind of stuff. Guys, I can't tell you, it's just been a lot of fun. I really firmly believe that if you do it right and you continue to do things that eBay and other platforms, I'm not knocking the other platforms, but if you do it right, eBay is a very strong and reliable place to start building a retirement, paying off financial debt, starting a small business to help your family, and even, even a full-time business like I've turned mine into. So there you go. All right, don't forget, hit the like and the subscribe button, the bell notification. It's always a lot of fun to talk about this kind of stuff, guys, because I really am passionate about trying to help people and trying to get you guys motivated and to see that you can do this. You can really make a go of this. All right, guys? So don't forget, hit those buttons, and I will see you in my next video.